Welcome to this series of 4 simple chair yoga supported exercises that is phenomenal for releasing tension in your lower back, throughout your spine, legs, and hips. And if you ever thought that doing yoga in a chair was easy, it's not the case. You're actually able to get deeper into the poses and hold them longer because you're more supported. In order to go deeper, you're going to want to use your breath. So let's start by just taking a few deep breaths through our nose and deep into your abdomen. Let your chest become more and more still so that your abdomen expands as you breathe in and relaxes as you breathe out. You can help this motion by inhaling your arms up and out to your side and above your head with your inhalations, and releasing your arms down and out with your exhalations. And go at your own pace instead of following me, especially since I'm talking. Everybody's length of breath will be different. But let your arms really be a reflection of your breath. So at the top of your inhalation, your arms are all the way above your head. And at the bottom of your exhalation, they're already down by your sides. The next time you come up, leave your arms here, whether they're up along your ears, out in Y, or in goalposts. As long as they're above your shoulders, they're going to help you deepen your breath in your abdomen. And then also bring them back so they're alongside your ears rather than in front of you. So even if that means bending your arms, that way there won't be any strain on your neck. And allowing your arms to be over your shoulders or even behind your back cuts off any chest breathing and invites your breath to be deeper in your belly. So just hold your arms there for a few more breaths and invite your breath to lengthen, deepen, and have no sound or pause. Good. As you're ready, let your arms float down with your next exhalation. As we begin with the first forward bend exercise, you're going to want to make sure that your chair is not on wheels. If it is, see if you could find one more stable or at least have it up against the wall. It's a little dangerous. And then I want you to sit on the edge of your chair and make sure that your knees are in line with your hips and that you could see your toes beyond your knees. Before you start, I want you to just watch how I come out so you don't have to lift up your head to see, and because you want to keep all those muscles through the back of your neck relaxed. You'll start with your elbows on your knees. You'll relax your chin to your chest. You can either stay here or later on release your arms alongside in between your legs. When you come out of this position though, keep your head hanging. Bring your elbows back to your knees. We'll stay here for a little longer, keeping your chin to your chest. You'll walk your hands up your legs. Once your shoulders roll over your hips, you'll roll up through your neck. And that way, all the muscles that you relax through your back and the back of your neck aren't going to be the ones that you're using to come out of the pose. Are you ready? So again, making sure you could see your toes beyond your knees. Bend right at your hips, bring your elbows to your knees, and then drop your chin to your chest. Let the weight of your head be like a bowling ball. And as your head hangs, feel how it tractions your spine, and you could sink your hips into the chair. And then, of course, let your breath slow and deepen, breathing right into wherever you're feeling the stretch. Can you let your head hang even more? If you'd like, you could release your arms between your legs. And if they have to reach the floor, let your palms face up. Breathe deeply. Make sure the weight is not rotating to the insides or outsides of your feet or fronts or backs of your feet. Keep sinking your hips into the chair and to deepen, lengthen, and slow your breath. If your breath ever gets choppy or strained, come to the easier variation because it's really the quality of your breath that's going to allow the muscles to release and let go. If you haven't already and your arms are between your legs, bring your elbows back to your knees. Stay here for a few more breaths and see if you could sink your hips into the chair more and let your head hang more deeply. Slow down your breath, letting your inhalations become more full, your exhalations become more complete. And then keeping your chin to your chest, press your hands into your legs. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other till your shoulders are over your hips, and then roll up through your 7 neck vertebrae. And as you come back to a straight spine, you may feel like you're able to breathe even more deeply in your abdomen. Wonderful. For the leg cradles in the chair, you're going to keep one foot solid on the ground as you cross your opposite ankle over your knee. You want to make sure it's ankle bone on thigh bone, and you could have that ankle bone close to your knee or closer to your hip if you're looking for a deeper stretch. You just want to make sure that the foot that's on the ground doesn't come to the inside as you cross your legs. So if it did, start with your hips in line with your knees. Make sure you could see your toes beyond your knees. Keep one foot flat on the floor and make sure that knee doesn't rotate in either. Toes, knee, hip. And then all you're doing is inviting that inner thigh of the bent leg to relax. And if you just relax your chin to your chest in this position, again, letting the weight of the bowling ball traction your spine, it will deepen the stretch all the way down into your lower back as you keep letting that bent knee soften. If you'd like, you could bend forward, bringing your elbows onto your legs, or even release your arms over your legs or along your sides. But again, if your breath becomes choppy or strained, ease off. Give yourself more support because the quality of your breath is going to determine how much you let these muscles relax and let go. Can you let your head hang even more? And breathe into wherever you're feeling the stretch. And again, be sure the weight on that standing foot is not rotating in, out, front, or back. Bring a little bit more support into the arms if they were hanging. And then keep your chin to your chest and walk your hands up your legs, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae again. Once your shoulders are over your hips, roll up through your 7 neck vertebrae. Good. This is a great stretch for balancing the hips. So as you release that leg down, again, lining up your knees and feet with your hips, cross your opposite ankle. And usually our hips are very different. So this leg may need something deeper or more gentle. Really meet your body where it's at. Be gentle. Listen to your breath for clues. You could keep your spine straight and just let your chin relax to your chest. Soften that inner thigh. Use your breath, giving your body permission to use the chair to soften into. You could release your arms alongside your body or bend at your hips and release your arms over your legs. But really, when done properly, these chair poses, when you're in the proper alignment, allows your muscles to melt with the support of your bones. When you're in the proper alignment, there's no strain on any of your joints. So you want to make sure that ankle bone stays over the thigh bone. And then use your breath to go deeper. As long as your breath is deep, you may feel it more in your sides and your lower back because you're bent forward. But as long as your breath is deep and smooth, that's your clue to whether you're in pain or just at the edge of your stretch. If your breath gets choppy in your chest, that means to ease off. That means pain. If your arms are hanging either over your legs or out to your side, keep your chin to your chest and begin to roll up as you walk your hands up your legs. And then you want to hold one other side longer that has more opportunity for freedom. So you may not be holding the leg cradle stretches for even amounts of time. Hold the side that has more opportunity to open longer so you could really use these as a good hip balance. As you bring your feet hip distance apart, we'll do a short forward bend just to really balance out that stretch that you got in your lower back. We won't hold it as long. And in fact, you may just want to stay with your elbows on your knees. But if you do release your arms between your legs, make sure your palms face up if they happen to reach the floor. Let your hips sink even more deeply into the chair and your head become even heavier, tractioning your spine as you lengthen your breath. Good. If your arms are hanging, bring your elbows back to your knees. Keep your chin to your chest. Walk your hands up your legs. Roll up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. The lunge in the chair is my favorite way to stretch the psoas muscle, that big hip flexor muscle that runs from the front of our leg through our hip into the lower back and is often a culprit in lower back pain. So all you're going to do is you're going to turn to the side of your chair. You want to hold the back of the chair with your hand to make sure that you're keeping the legs of the chair, all four of them, on the ground as you slide one hip off of the chair. You're going to drop that knee as you line up the standing leg again in that 90-degree angle so you could see your toe beyond your knee, and the toe, knee are in line with the hip. And then you're going to relax that opposite knee. And you could even curl your toes under and pull back if you'd like, keeping your shoulders square over your hips. But let me show you a deepening technique. If I curl my toe under, I can even straighten my leg, but you see how my lower back arches here? I want you to relax that knee, tuck your tail under, pull your belly in, and then pull that knee back. It won't go back as far as you have that lower back in a more neutral position, but you're going to feel the stretch much more deeply. If you'd like to deepen even more, you could bring that arm up above shoulder height, but make sure it's not in front of you at all because you don't want to load the stretch on your neck. So whatever position brings that arm in line with your shoulders, but let it help you lift your rib cage up as you sink your hips down, pull your knees in opposite directions, and deepen your breath and your abdomen. Take one or two more long, deep breaths. If your arm's raised, bring it back down and take one or two more deep breaths, just pulling your knees in opposite directions, having your tail slightly tucked. Good. As you relax that bent knee, sometimes I like to even take underneath the knee to bring the leg up. So again, you're not using the muscles that you just stretched to raise the leg up. Let's turn to the other side. Go ahead and hold onto the back of the chair. Line up that front leg so you could see your toes beyond your knee and it's in line with your hips. As you hold onto the back of the chair, let that outside knee drop. Good. Tuck your tail under, pull your belly in, pull that knee back, make sure that front foot is flat on the ground. Raise your arm up if you're looking for a deeper stretch. So you can really lift your rib cage, sink your hips down, create more space in your abdomen, and invite your breath to flow there. You could pull that back knee back as much as you'd like, but really keep that tail tucked. So you're getting that stretch through the front of your hip, leg, and into your glute. Wherever you're feeling it is just fine. Breathe right into it. And when you feel complete, let your arm relax, sits up, take another breath or two, pulling your knees in opposite directions. Imagine your hips sinking. As you relax that knee, you may want to hold underneath it to bring it up. Come back to the center. Wonderful. And now my favorite stretch, I like to call downward dog on the chair. It's great to do at your desk, counter, kitchen table. You're just going to take your chair, and instead of grabbing onto it, I'd like you to just press down on it. Walk yourself back so you have a nice straight line from your fingertips to your tailbone. Let your chest come forward. Now, if your legs are straight, it's going to be more of a stretch for your hamstrings. If your knees are bent, it's going to be a nice release for your lower back. Try it both ways. Of course, let your breath deepen, lengthen. If your knees are bent, really sink your hips back and stretch your fingertips away from your tailbone. If your legs are straight, raise your kneecaps up, squeezing the front of your legs so you get a deeper stretch through the back of your legs, even feeling your sit bones spread. And then you could hold this stretch a lot longer than downward dog because it's supported. But you want to make sure you come out gently. So if your legs are straight, bend your knees, walk yourself slowly towards the chair as you press into the chair. And that way you're coming up, letting all the muscles that you just stretched remain relaxed. Take a few moments and just notice your breath. As our breath flows more fully through our nose, deep into our belly, it allows our whole nervous system to relax a little more deeply. And whether it's the stretches that allow our breath to deepen, or our breath deepening that lets us get deeper into the stretches, it's really a beautiful symbiotic relationship that allows us to move into a different state even after just a few stretches. I look so forward to seeing you as part of the Yoga Journey community as we explore more resources. Thank you for all you do. Namaste.